Lesson 3.8, Rates, Ratios, and Percents. The one vocabulary word that we should have written down is a unit rate. A rate per one given unit, such as 60 miles per 1 gallon. Express the ratio, 10 roses out of 12 flowers, as a fraction in simplest form. To write this as a ratio, we'll have 10 over 12. We need to think of a number that can go into 10 and 12. The number I'm thinking of is 2. 2 can go into 10 5 times, and 2 can go into 12 6 times. The ratio of roses to flowers is 5 to 6. This means that for every 6 flowers, 5 of them are roses. Eight golden retrievers out of 12 dogs can be simplified using the number 4. 4 goes into 8 2 times and into 12 3 times. 2/3, so D is your answer. Express the ratio 21 inches to 2 yards as a fraction in simplest form. 21 inches to 2 yards. First, convert 2 yards to inches. 1 yard has 36 inches, so 2 yards has 72. Now we can simplify. 3 can go into 21 7 times, and into 72 24 times. There are 12 inches in 1 foot. 12 times 4 is 48, so there are 48 inches in 4 feet. Six can go into 48 8 times and into 18 3 times. So our answer is B. A 12-ounce bottle of cleaner costs $4.50. A 16-ounce bottle of cleaner costs $6.56. Which costs less per ounce? Let's think about our important information. A 12-ounce bottle costs $4.50. A 16-ounce bottle costs $6.56. Our question is asking us which costs less per ounce. The first thing I want to do is find out what the unit rate of each bottle is. To do this, I'll take $4.50 and divide it by 12 ounces. When I divide this, I'll get 38 cents per 1 ounce. We'll do the same thing for our 16-ounce bottle. $6.56 for 16 ounces. When I divide these two numbers, I'll get 41 cents per 1 ounce. Now that I know the unit price, I can go back to my question. It says, which cost less per ounce? 38 cents is less than 41 cents, so that is our answer, 12-ounce bottle. A 6-pack of soft drink costs $1.50. A 12-pack of soft drink costs $2.76. Which pack costs less per can? I'll take $1.50 and divide it by 6 to get 25 cents. per 1 ounce. $2.76 divided by 12 will be 23 cents per 1 can. Which pack costs less per can? The 12 pack. Interpreting large numbers. How can you relate this information to individual spending? The estimated spending for clothes and food in the United States in 1996. Our categories are clothing and shoes, restaurants, and food at home. We know that the total population in 1996 was about 266 million. What this question is asking us to do is to find the individual spending. So that means how much did each person spend on each category? Let's start with clothing and shoes. 83 billion is how much money was spent by 266 million people. I can divide these two numbers, and I'm going to get about $688 per one person. So each individual spends about $688 for clothing and shoes. Now we'll go to our restaurants. 190 billion divided by 266 million. That gives us about $714 per one person. And then food at home. 300 billion divided by 266 million is about $1,128. You have recorded your car mileage and gasoline use for 2 months. Estimate the number of miles you can drive on a full 18-gallon tank of gasoline. We're given our number of miles and our number of gallons. I'm going to add up my number of miles and the number of gallons. The total number of miles is 1,149 miles. The total number of gallons is 47.2. Next, I'm going to find the unit rate. 1,149 miles in 47.2 gallons. When I divide this, I'll get about 24.2 miles with 1 gallon. Since we know our average rate was about 24.2 miles per gallon, we can set up an equation. We'll take our number of miles, 24.2, over our gallons, 1 gallon. Since this is our average, it should equal X amount of miles in 18 gallons. Now that we've set up a proportion, we can solve. We'll cross multiply. 1 times X is X. 24.2 times 18 is 435.6. So about 436 miles is how far you can drive on a full 18-gallon tank of gas. A snail moved 30 feet in 2 hours. How many inches per minute did the snail move? We can ask ourselves, since we're looking to find out how many inches in a minute, how many inches are in 30 feet? Well, if there are 12 inches in 1 foot, 12 inches times 30 feet is 360. We can also ask ourselves how many minutes are in 2 hours. If there's 60 minutes in 1 hour, then 60 times 2 is 120. Then we can simplify this to be 3/1, 3 inches in 1 minute. Dave jogs 2 miles in 2 minutes. How many feet per second is this? I'll set up my ratio as 2 miles over 22 minutes. I can ask myself, how many feet are in 1 mile? Well, that's 5,280 feet. 5,280 feet times 2 miles is 10,560. There's 60 seconds in 1 minute, so in 22 minutes, 60 times 22 is 1,320. I can simplify this to be 8 feet over 1 second, so B is my answer. You're visiting Mexico and you want to exchange $180 for pesos. The rate of currency is 9.990 pesos per United States dollar. You want to find out how many pesos you will receive. We're going to use unit analysis to write an equation. Take the number of dollars times the pesos over dollars will give you your pesos. We'll write an equation. D will stand for dollars times the rate of currency in pesos is 9.990 all over $1 equals P. Substitute 180 for D dollars. Now we'll just multiply straight across. This will give us about $1,798.20. When you leave Mexico, you are surprised to find that you have exactly 180 pesos left. You want to find out how many United States dollars you will receive. The rate of currency exchange is now 9.987 pesos per dollar. Again, we use our unit analysis. This time, pesos times the dollar amount over peso equals dollars. We'll write our equation. P times 1 over 9.987 equals D. P stands for pesos, D stands for dollars. Substitute 180 for P. After you simplify, you'll find that D is about $18. You tested a sample of 50 tulip bulbs from a shipment of 4,500 bulbs for resistance to a type of mold. You found that 32 of the bulbs had a natural resistance and 18 did not. Use these results to estimate the number of bulbs in the shipment that will have a natural resistance to the mold. Let's think about our important information. Our sample is 15 tulip bulbs. We received 4,500 bulbs. 32 of the bulbs had natural resistance. 18 did not. Use these results to estimate the number of bulbs in the shipment that will have a natural resistance to the mold. That means that we don't even need 18 anymore. First, let's set up a ratio to show us our sample. 32 out of 50 bulbs had a natural resistance. If this continues, we want to know